Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow reptiles, to Facepalm Sunday. Today's video is a bit special because I never thought that I would be making a Facepalm Sunday video towards someone who I used to consider a friend. This is someone who I used to Skype with, someone who I used to talk to over Facebook every once in a while. But it wasn't until last week where they really showed their true colors and really showed the type of person that they really are, and they said some things which I felt a need to respond to. Of course, when I responded to them, with them attacking me, telling me what I shouldn't say or do, they blocked me, which is perfectly fine. I'm okay with them blocking me. I'm not offended. I'm not crying about it. But it just really shocked me that someone who you used to consider a friend, who if they disagree with something that you say, they instantly have to block you. I've never understood that mentality, that if someone holds a differing viewpoint about something, that you have to block them, or you can't be friends with someone if you disagree about something. But it eventually led to her calling me racist, which, because I was called racist, I need to respond to her and show you people the type of person she really is, and why her logic and reasoning is in fact flawed. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, let's begin.
So don't go thinking that I am some crazy feminist bitch who can't take a compliment. I am a crazy feminist bitch, but I can take a compliment.
So my question to you then is, are you a craziest feminist bitch who can in fact accept criticism? It's interesting considering that you are the person who criticized me, and then when I responded to you with other valid criticism, you blocked me, which doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. Why someone who would criticize me, but then when I respond to them, they block me. I don't understand that line of reasoning. But nonetheless, I want to talk a little briefly about criticism, and then racial slurs, and then censorship. So on to criticism. What is criticism? Well, for starters, criticism, if you leave a comment on someone's video, or you tweet someone saying, "You suck, you stink, this video is dumb," that's really not criticism. Criticism to me is when someone seeks to have people understand a differing viewpoint about something. For the most part, when people criticize me of my specific views about the videos that I make or about videos against religion or things like that, I always listen to the criticism made to me. The difference is accepting criticism is not the same thing as applying the criticism. Someone can criticize you, and you can listen to them, hear what they have to say, learn about a different perspective, but you don't have to accept it. And by accepting, mean apply it and say, well, they've criticized me on this, so that means I have to change my worldview or change my position on something. You can listen to criticism, you can consider criticism without applying it to your life. True criticism, to me, seeks to help people understand different perspectives and different positions about the world that we live in, whether it be racism, whether it be homosexuality, whether it be feminism, whether it be any controversial subject ever. To me, criticism seeks to help people understand a different position of that ideology. That's it. So let's jump right into this. A few days ago, I tweeted this. "This is all they say outside my door. Shut the fuck up, nigga. Did you see what he did last night, nigga? Dat the shit, nigga. Learn to speak, please." I live in an area which would be considered in the hood, or the ghetto. I live in an area that has almost every type of ethnic person you can possibly imagine. That being said, there are people who are outside my door all of the time, almost every single day, who are talking to one another using the term nigga. Wow, dude, that's some crazy shit, nigga. So then my question to you guys, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow reptiles, is the word nigga, N-I-G-G-A, different from the word nigger, N-I-G-G-E-R? If you have a basic understanding of Ebonics, then most likely you will say yes. They're completely two different words which mean two different things. Right from Linguistic Society's website, Ebonics is African American English. At its most literal level, Ebonics simply means black speech. The term was created in 1973 by a group of black scholars who disliked the negative connotations of terms that had been coined in the 1960s when the first modern large-scale linguistic studies of African American speech communities began. This informational page is linked down below in the description. I recommend you read it because it's very informational on understanding what Ebonics is and how language is used by African American culture. That being said, let's go back to my original question. Is the word nigga that they use in day-to-day speech, is that a racist term to use towards people? Do they mean it in a racist way? And the answer is no. The word nigga is a commonly used word that describes anyone. It doesn't matter their color. It doesn't matter their race. Someone can be a Chinese person and be a nigga. A person can be a Mexican and be a nigga. To simply coin me as racist as this woman does because I quoted something that my neighbor said is not only ignorant of African American culture and linguistic studies. This was recorded a few months ago right outside my door.
Right, so exactly. The real niggas. This time the real niggas that was there for fake work. Genesis was hell. This young niggas come along, stop my deep job and shit in the hood. They don't know shit. Yeah. You guys want to take over this nigga? Oh, nah. I know that nigga did it, nigga. I know that nigga did it.
I want you to take note here that my neighbors are in fact not fighting. This is their general mannerisms and general speech around where I live. It's not in my general vocabulary or general speech. I don't use it ever in my day-to-day life. However, me quoting someone on my Twitter of something that they said does not make me racist, and furthermore, does not mean that I am degrading people of African American culture. Dude, even in quotes, censor the N-word, I reply. No, I don't censor words. Never have, never will. I've used it in my videos plenty of times in context. Are you serious? Do you even slightly understand how much that word has used to degrade black people at all? Okay, first of all, when you become to the point in your life where you want to censor every word that you don't like or that offends you, you are in for a reality check, especially on the internet. That's not how the world works. And I believe that once you censor a word, whether it's nigga or the word nigger, the moment you start censoring words like that from social media, from books, you give that word 10 times more power than it even originally ever had. I do not censor words here on my channel. I never have, I never will. Simply because I am not for censorship when it comes to language. The only time that I support censorship is when it's personal information, such as addresses, personal credit card numbers, social securities. But words in general should not be censored. I reply, I'm quoting a slang my neighbors are saying. Holy shit, I assume the word cunt is off limits too. She replies, no, because cunt wasn't used as a way to degrade and other people for literal centuries. Way to completely exaggerate the word nigga by saying literal centuries. That word has only been being started from the 1973, not literal centuries. The fact that you can't differentiate between linguistics and language and how languages form within regards to Ebonics and African American English and how it's developed over time only within the past 50 years, and you seem to coin that the word nigga was used all the way back in slavery times? No. A boy I know who is dating a black girl just shared a video saying it's okay to appropriate black culture. Fucking hell, I hate him so much. This is on top of him loving anti-feminist and anti-religion videos when his lady is both. He's abusive piece of shit scum. I hate him so much. So along with being completely 100% for censorship, even in proper context of language, you also seem to hate, and you also seem to think that if anyone is against feminism or is anti-feminist or anti-religious, that they are automatically abusive. Can you please explain to me how someone who is anti-feminist or if someone is anti-religious, how that makes them an abusive person? Because I don't see that. I'm anti-religious, and for good reason, because I know what religion can do and what religion has done to me, especially growing up a church which had sexual abuse in it. Being an anti-feminist or anti-religious means that I'm abusive or that someone else is abusive because they're against something? No. But ladies and gentlemen, my fellow reptiles, this video is not done yet. This is where the cookie crumbles into pieces. Because this woman has actually 3 different Twitter accounts. I'm only blocked on one, but for some reason she has 3 Twitter accounts, and only a few months ago, she tweeted these things. White people going to Africa to teach kids pisses me right off. Volunteerism needs to quit. So glad you got to have this life-changing experience looking at poor little black children, and now we can talk about your worldly experience. Not to mention how often when Westerners teach kids in a non-English speaking country, it doesn't help their education at all. It disrupts their learning when they have a different white person Emphasis on, she keeps saying, white person teaching them stuff not in their native language every 2 weeks. Donate the money you would have spent on that trip to charity that would help properly educate that community. But then again, just donating money doesn't get you selfies with kids from exploited countries. Straight up donating money to charity also doesn't give you the right to say I had a life-changing experience or whatever. I'm really not sure how to respond to these statements that you made several months ago, other than, how can you sit around on your Twitter and attempt to tell me what words I should or shouldn't use in a quote, tell me that I'm using a degrading word, label me as racist, and then months before go on a Twitter rant telling people that white people shouldn't go to other countries in Africa because those white people aren't teaching them in their native language. And of course, you diss my experience of going to Africa and diss everyone who is white going to Africa's experience. When they had a life-changing experience, you dismiss that. I'm sorry, but when I went to Africa, it was one of the most life-changing experiences that I ever had. And the fact that you dismiss that simply because I didn't donate money to the organization that I worked with, which, by the way, we raised money to build houses, and then we went to Morocco and built the houses with our bare hands for people who had nothing. These were women who had been outcasted by Islam, by their husbands, who got rid of their wives and their kids because they found another different wife who was more attractive and more young and married them, leaving their kids and wives nothing except a mud hut to live in, and we built these houses. And I can say from personal experience that changed my life. Of course, you know, us white folk, we shouldn't be going to other countries to teach them different languages because it's not in their native tongue. And of course, there's something negative. I don't understand what's so negative about helping children in other countries, but apparently we're exploiting them. What does this say about you? Like, honestly, sincerely, what does this say about you as an individual? I think you have some deeply rooted issues, but I also think that you are one of the most judgmental people that I have ever seen on social media, based upon the tweets that you've said, and there's plenty more. I could keep on showing more tweets of things that she said. Nicki Minaj's Anaconda has made me want to look up documentaries on actual anacondas. Probably not her desired outcome, but like, wow, these creatures are really cool. Snakes are my favorite animal, and I've had a tattoo for them planned for ages, but now it's going to be an anaconda for sure. I like to relate anacondas to feminism, in the sense that the feminists will also crush men and devour them whole. I think that's how feminism works. Man-hating misandry, feminism, it's all really the same. There is absolutely nothing better than someone character assassinating themselves like you have done here. I can't even believe that I actually watched some of your videos, liked some of them, supported you, retweeted you on certain things, only to find out that you have a past of this type of mentality. I am glad, though, that you're getting a snake tattoo of an anaconda, because an anaconda is a reptile, and well, I'm a reptile, and so is my entire YouTube community. We're all reptiles. In all honesty, I don't know what else to say to you other than I feel sorry for you. I really do, because you come across as someone who is extremely judgmental to everyone and everything. You block people and label them racist and passively tweet them after you've blocked them. I saw those tweets that you tweeted about me after you blocked me. Constantly tweet about how you want to be YouTube famous. You give feminism a bad name, which already for the most part has a bad name to begin with, but feminists who really care about men and women, if that's possible, which I believe it is, you slap that in the face and say, right here, all about man-hating misandry. I like to relate anacondas to feminism in the sense that feminists will also crush the men and devour them whole. How else are people supposed to process that, interpret that? I can tell you one thing, you're not going to become YouTube famous like you want to be when you hold the views that you do, block people who offer any sort of criticism to you, believe that feminism should crush men, and bitch and complain when other people go to other countries to help people learn different languages or help them because of the poor region of the world that they live in. I don't understand what goes through your brain and how you can hold all these different contradicting, hypocritical positions and then label yourself a feminist. My name is Daniel Sulzbach, also known as Mr. Repzion. Thank you for watching this video, and peace the rep out.